What is that intro? Oh my God, wow. This is Mike Diaz, and you're listening to The Sleeping Yogi. We've got a really cool show for you today. I have Kwon Yin on the line, and I did an interview with her, a telephone interview with her about a week ago or 2 weeks ago. And she's doing some incredible work here in Los Angeles as a spiritual artist. So without further ado, here's Kwon Yin.
Hi and welcome. This is Mike Diaz with The Sleeping Yogi, and I have with me today Kwon Yin. Hi, how are you?
Hello.
What's going on?
Oh my goodness. What's not going on?
It's crazy time right now, is it not? It's a crazy time on Earth.
Seriously?
Yeah, it is very, very interesting. I know. Where to even begin, right? I think we should probably begin with the 5 W's, and then we'll get into what's going on the planet right now. Does that sound good?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
All right. So tell us, who are you?
So, I am Kwon Yin, and let me say where this name comes from because. So this name is inspired, influenced, and in honor of the Buddhist goddess Kwon Yin, who is the goddess of compassion. And it's basically also my family name, Kwon. And Yin is also basically the work that I do, where I work a lot with the yin energy, the feminine receptive force, the counterpart to yang, the masculine. So this is a little breakdown of my name, the artist name.
That is beautiful. And so tell us, what is it you do?
So I am a spiritual artist, and the manifestations of that is I'm a guide to the unconscious, and I work a lot with how to make congruent what is held within and to bring it up into the light of consciousness, to become aware.
I love that you said manifestation, because that's how I actually found you on Instagram, because I was looking for possibly someone to co-create with or manifest, or you know what I mean, what is out there in LA that is manifestation. And you actually were the first thing that popped up, the first person that popped up, and I was like, and that's when I oh my God, I instantly fell in love, and I was like, oh my God, she's amazing, scrolling through crazy, you know.
Oh, that's so cool that it pops up under manifestation. That's awesome.
Yeah, I know, right? You're literally manifesting manifestation.
Wow. And a manifestation of this. Yeah. Well, I wonder if it's because my former Instagram name was Manifestation Yin, which was basically an experiential yoga that I created that's all about tapping into your deeper self to manifest from this deeper yin place. It's a yoga.
Hold up, you created a yoga?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So that was kind of my initial, that was the first, what do I say, form that my work was taking on through this type of yoga. Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. Where are you at? Where are you doing all this?
So this is in LA. I moved here about a little over a year ago from Berlin, where I was living for 8 years before. But originally, I'm from California. Originally, I grew up here, born in Seoul, Korea.
Do you feel like your past called you back to LA to start doing this work?
Oh, yes, definitely.
That is
LA,
incredible.
I was seduced by LA. LA sun.
And so, are you? I know you have like the 8-week catharsis program. So, are you like a Monday through Friday, or are you just constantly going? Like, when are you operating? When is Kwon Yin in full effect? I'm guessing 24/7.
I feel like Kwon Yin is in effect like in all of quantum timelines.
I
the
love
quantum
that.
realm.
I get that. I totally get that.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, this work is being done like it's kind of constant. It's just like a state of mind that I am dipping in and out of all throughout all dimensions. Like I can't stop it, you know?
That's beautiful, and that actually means that actually says something to me that really resonates with me, because it's true. You know, a lot of times we think we're just in this kind of existence of, you know, wake up, go to work, come back home, and then like somewhere in there, you know, you get married and then you maybe have a kid or something, you know, some sort of formula you do, and then you die.
Yeah.
And like there's so much more to life than just that.
Oh.
You know what I mean? There's so much more.
Yes.
Like there's dimensions, there's layers, there's quantum timelines, there's so much. And so you're absolutely...
and all the spaces in between, you know, like the interdimensional stuff, and like, and all the things that happen actually in dream space, and like the liminal. It's kind of like one of my new favorite words these days. I keep saying it. I'm like, I'm in the liminal. I'm in the liminal right
now. Tell me a little
like
bit
downloads
about
you
the
get
liminal.
during the liminal. The liminal, like this in-between realm, you know, when you're just not quite fully awake, like in the 3D sense of like, you know, like writing emails and chopping cucumbers. Like, or maybe like the liminal can happen like in these spaces while you're doing this, but you're like not quite fully asleep. You're in this kind of dreamy, hazy state, and that's where like, you know, you see like dream symbols, metaphors, feelings, replaying past or future conversations, and like these kind of like, I guess it's when the unconscious or the subconscious is just like more active, more in the foreground. Yeah.
I love that. I'm like literally tickled pink right now, because I don't know, whatever. We're just having way too much fun here. So
I know. Did you say you're tickled pink?
I'm literally tickled pink. Like
I love that expression.
That's my dig. I'm always tickled pink. I like love, you know what I mean? Like when things just resonate with you, when they're so true that like that truth that is so undeniable, and you're like, yes, that's what it is. Like yes, like give me more. Yes. And the universe just keeps sending more and more and more and more. Oh.
Yes. I'm like feeling it right now. Feeling it.
Yes, exactly. And like I'm totally feeling it right now.
I am like literally in a pink fuzzy like robe right now. Home robe, bathrobe. Yeah, so I am literally being tickled pink.
So then what was it? Like what's the why here? Like why you moved back to LA? Like do you feel you were all of a sudden activated, called? Like what happened? Why?
So like I was saying before, I was in Berlin for like 8 years, which is quite a long time. And in retrospect, I can see why I was there. And I know that Berlin was like some metaphor for like a rite of passage I was going through, like a spiritual initiation, because it was like where all my dark nights of the soul were taking place, like total like deconstruction of self. Like,
ugh. I didn't know we were getting into like Dark Night of the Soul right now. Ooh,
yeah. I mean that is like
hours.
I know. I mean, I freaking like, yeah. I love all that stuff because it's like the reason for all this. It was like the dark soil from which now I feel like things are like blossoming from that. But from like, I guess I feel very grateful to have had that time. I mean, yeah, to like really go deep into it, into myself.
And find yourself.
And I know like I was being guided like through my higher self to like be taken there so that I can do this. But it's just like during it was like it was like this prolonged state of like not knowing what's going on, like ego dismantling, and really like, but also asking questions like why, and really at a very fundamental level, like who am I and why am I here and why am I so miserable and why am I like, so like lost. And and I think now through all of that, like, I think LA started calling to me when I was like, my higher self knew and my physical self was like, okay, I think I'm ready to graduate out of this. And go on to my next phase of life where I can like take all these things that I learned and experienced and like coming to LA was like bringing myself with like the offering what like all these experiences were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's true because we all like, I completely resonate with you and your why because I went through the exact same thing. And I think that's a big part of our spiritual awakening or realigning with our path is, going through that dark night of the soul, having a period of reflection, going deep within. Mm-hmm. I mean, you literally took the words out of my mouth because it was last July when I quit my job. And then in August, around my birthday, I was like, I literally said to the universe, who am I? And then, oh my God, if you like want, I always warn people, like, do not ask the universe who you are unless you literally are ready for that path because the universe is like ready to put you on that path like immediately. And so like all these like synchronicities and serendipitous events started happening like crazy. And it was just like, whoa, and like just more and more stuff starts to make sense, but then nothing makes sense at all. And it's crazy.
But also, like, because you were open and ready and you weren't resistant to, like, you were ready to, like, receive it,
Right.
I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and it's true because, I mean, what really pulled me to Los Angeles was, I think I had been living in San Diego, and then in 2010, I was like, oh, enough of San Diego. Like, I had this deep need to have more life. I need more life, more culture, something was like pulling me. And as soon as I like literally landed in LA from San Diego, like, and I started living here, like, synchronicities started happening like crazy, like just crazy. Like all these people started coming into my life, like all this stuff just started happening. And it was like, whoa, I didn't ever think though that I would all of a sudden have to step in the shoes of being a spiritual teacher or being somebody with wisdom, like I wasn't honoring that wisdom within, that gift. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, no, like, I just read a book or two. But no, like all this instinctual wisdom comes from something higher that I just,
Yeah,
so
higher and
beautiful.
deeper. Yeah.
Higher and deeper. And it's really crazy, like, what it is that comes through and what it is that, like connecting with your higher self and the information that comes through. I mean, when I work with people, it's so amazing, like what comes through in our sessions because it's like, wow, like I don't know where that came from. Or energetic sessions. I love doing energy sessions with people because it, like, they come out of it and they're like, what was that? You know, and they're like freaked out, and I'm like, what are you freaked out about? I was like, it's nothing that I've done. I haven't done anything. You know, we basically co-created and manifested this experience for you and what you need, you know. And
right. But it's like,
talk about, oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, I like.
No, go.
Oh, I was going to say, well, you are allowing yourself to be a vessel.
Yes.
Like a channel. Yeah.
It's true. And unless you talked about the ego, and unless you dismantle that ego, the ego is going to always say, well, I'm the one doing this, and I'm this, and I figure this out, and blah, and you're like, whoa, like, we don't need the ego. Like, minimize that ego.
Right. Or like to know that it's the child of something like a deeper, higher power. Yeah. I think the issue comes when like being overrun by that voice or the identity that's like tries to override everything else, and like that it had forgotten that it is the child. Yeah. Yeah. Right.
So
which kind of
going
like,
back. Oh no, go please.
I'm just like, there's like random words floating up, and I'm like, oh, I don't know.
No, let it flow. I love that. Let the consciousness flow.
Oh gosh, open the dam. Open the
yes,
dam.
Open the dam. Let the energy flow.
Yes. Oh my gosh, even if it comes out nonsensically. Yeah. Well, okay, that just takes me to, I mean, that is basically the premise of this program that I'm launching called Catharsis. And I guess it is like the evolution from where like Manifestation Yin came from. But it's like, I think it goes deeper, and it's an intense like journey of how to be with or to like develop a relationship with your deeper self, and it is about opening the dam. Yeah, because we're talking about that, and like, okay, like the word inner child comes up because I think what's really I feel like in my journey, what was really like challenging for me was how to work with the parts of myself that I felt too ashamed about revealing or like showing or even recognizing in myself. And so like how to merge like all the higher insights with like the part of myself, like the ego or like those voices or like the feared, the scared, and the parts of myself that are in fear. And it's really working with that energy of how we've been so trained to suppress those parts of ourselves. And that really it is an ancestral pattern. It is something that's been passed down for generations upon generations, and that we are a product of all of that, of everything that all those thoughts, all the patterns of patriarchy, and now, like, finally, I think that's why this is such an exciting time, because finally now we're like waking up and saying, no, like the pattern ends with me, and I'm not going to hold on to those beliefs that constrict and make me small and make me have to obey and make me not free. And so that's really that's like really, I think my focus with like how to free the shame and work with the shame and allow yourself to feel your own darkness, because by only really facing and feeling and caring for it, we can like allow ourselves for those parts to be brought to the light and to transmute that. And so actually the transmuting itself is where the feeling of freedom arises. I think every time you like, this is what I call emotional alchemy work, which is what this program is about, like sessions with like emotionally alchemizing those blocks and those working with negative triggers. Because it's like in those moment to moment arisings in the body of like constriction, where it's like, okay, that's what we work with, and to like dive deep into where it's coming from and healing it from the root.
It's extremely profound, because shame and guilt is like literally everywhere. I mean, everywhere, you know? And like, oftentimes it could be, shame and guilt could be used to manipulate people into doing things, to feeling certain ways, to constructing belief systems. So really the work that you just described is actually extremely profound. And I mean, that would literally change someone's life, like inside out.
Yeah, I mean, it's changed my life, and that's why I'm like, oh, okay, it's not enough for me to just do this work on myself and be like, oh, look, like, you know, like now, like, yeah, this must, I feel like, oh yeah, this must be shared. Like this must be shared. And yeah, like words just, it's just coming out in this sentence form. But something else that came up while you were talking was like because we were talking about being empaths, and so like very feeling based. I mean, we are all feeling creatures, humans, but it's just that we've been made to shame how we feel, or shame our feelings, or for having certain feelings. And so, I'm making a link right now with like how empaths, like it is a power for us to be feeling, because we're so higher sensitivity to feeling, that we can feel the darkness and the shame of what's been put on us in a much like acute way that kind of force. I mean, that sounds so violent, but yeah, it forced us to like really awaken out of that, to really question, because I feel like evolution is only really possible in the presence of pain, because that is the motivation. It is like the driving force for how things evolve. Otherwise, we get too comfortable and we don't really question things. But only like pain is the motivation. And when you feel pain at a much more acute level, it's just like much more of a catalyst to really question and to break free out of like, okay, why am I feeling this way? You know?
That's really interesting, because I feel like I'm going to make a connection right now and say that pain is the driving factor which brings people into a spiritual awakening. Would you agree with that? Would you say all of a sudden people wake up and they're like, oh my God, like what is this? You know, and then they kind of go into panic mode, because everything that they had asked for their entire lives all of a sudden just literally manifests, and you go into this spiritual awakening, and you don't really know what to make of that. Yeah,
totally.
And then that the awakening process in itself, I mean, that is very, very, I don't want to say not delicate. That's a very interesting process in itself, because you are literally bombarded not only with emotions, not only with, you know, all this knowledge, signs, flags, all these things coming your way, but you're like literally in a state of confusion, and it's a very lonely time. And
totally.
I mean, almost, it's like the awakening could also coincide with your dark night of the soul. And then and then that, like, if you're not ready for that, like, that's a really tough time, a hard time.
Oh, my freaking goddess. It is. And maybe, like, with the work that we're both doing, it's like paving a way for the future, that there is much more support for this process, like, of awakening, and that it doesn't have to be done alone and in secret and in shame and in confusion because you just don't know what is going on. I feel like in other realities, like, people would just say, "Oh, you're going insane. Oh, take meds, like, take pills, go have someone tell you that you have this disorder or whatever," because there isn't enough, like, awareness with, no, this is actually a very special rite of passage where you are ascending into your next, like, version of yourself, like an expanded version, which means, like, you've got to, like, all those inherited social constructs have to go. They are being dismantled, which is super scary if you don't know what's going on.
Right. Not only that, it could also be hard to believe because, in a sense, you are literally defying everything that is around you, the, quote unquote normal, like, this is normal. But I feel like the more that I step into my own power, the more that I say, oh, these are my teachings, this is what I do, the more people are like, hey, wait, yeah, that feels right, that feels good, that reinforces my being, my essence, and then that kind of squashes or pushes down those other social constructs that are kind of being forced upon us, Yeah. People oftentimes akin this to leaving the matrix, like, oh, I'm leaving the matrix, if you will. I'm defying all the different odds. I feel so cliche saying that, but I feel like, you defy all the, normalcy of life, and you say, wait, no, I've stripped myself of all these social constructs, and I've built I've transcended, right? And because I've transcended, I'm now walking my path, and I want to show others how to walk this path as well.
Yeah, because it's no longer, I guess that is the next stage where it's like, it's not enough for just yourself to know it. It has to be something that is shared.
Yeah.
And, like, sharing your
too,
wisdom.
Well, too, it's also, I feel like the time right now on like the planet and what's going on, like, there's just so many incredibly crazy things that are happening on this planet that I witness all the time, and I see all these different conversations going. You see trends, in music, you see trends in fashion, you see trends in art and in the people, and all this big pot of life that's on this planet. You start to see that the flavor is changing, that the music is changing, that people are, I feel like one day I woke up and literally everyone was kind of like vegan around me, like, whoa, like, okay, like that manifested itself. People are starting to say, oh, I honor my body, I honor the truth, I honor energetic work. I just started feeling more and more of these different new elements of higher consciousness manifesting into my existence. And it was through awakening, and more people are awakening, and the vibration of this planet is raising every single day.
And you know what? I think that's also an indication of how much your inner reality has, like, your outer reality is, like, reflecting the inner shift of your reality. Inner reality shift that you're seeing that manifest all around you. Yeah.
I agree with that. Absolutely.
Because I know I went through, like, periods where I wasn't fully claiming or being out with transparent with myself with how I really felt. And I mean I'm always like, it's like a continuous ongoing journey with that. But like, I know where like people in my reality, there were like people who were like really into the things that I was into, and with this like knowledge. But then I also had people who were like really judgmental of it, and I think that was like showing me my inner reality of like some parts where I felt like I judged, or I wasn't totally like aligned in myself with it.
Mm-hmm.
And so that reflected my outer reality as well. But I think, it's amazing. Like, but the more kind of like inner work to transmute like the discordant parts, I think like it's amazing just to see how that manifests in the outer world. Yeah.
I love how you just illustrated the dichotomy. Like, there is truly a dichotomy, if you will, of reality is my reality, your reality, what it is that I see, and versus what it is that you see. And I believe once it is that you begin to see that and you begin to acknowledge that, then you can start to even, like you said, work deeper within and have this catharsis, if you will. It's really quite. Yeah, I mean, these are like pearls of wisdom you're giving to everyone listening right now. You know what I mean?
I love the phrase "pearls of wisdom." I'm really into pearls, and I have a mini poodle companion. Her name is Pearl. Just want to like bring her into the conversation as she's snoring next to me.
I love that. I am all about pearls of wisdom. I'm like always saying, I'm giving you pearls here. And people are like, what? I don't get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
because it's also, I mean, just like also the way the pearl is formed. And I use that a lot, or I feel and see that as a metaphor a lot in this work of, diving into the self, like the deep sea of your unconscious, and this work of like working with the irritants of your life, or the resistances, the fears, as like the grain of sand that gets caught in the clam, and like the more you like care for and seek to understand and work with it, as opposed to resisting it and being against it, that it becomes the pearl. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. It's so beautiful. Tell me, I saw your work and what you were doing at Gnosis. So tell me, like, tell us all, like, what was some of the work that you were performing at Gnosis?
Okay, so it was a performance of catharsis. So as you can tell, I'm very, that word keeps coming up. I created, I guess you could say, they're kind of like chants and songs, and maybe even like, I would say also like channeling pieces, where I am kind of invoking my ancestors, and also Kwon Yin. But really, I think it's about, like, the performance was about showing through sound, like, all the things that have been repressed. And it's almost like the work that I'm doing in musical form, and the work that I'm like the work that I want to be sharing with people, and like how I help them get to this place as well, of like tapping into that deeper place of that realm of like voices and things that you normally would not want other people to know about because it's like shameful. And so just like releasing that and like letting it be heard and seen. And so, yeah, it's a performance of catharsis. And it's interesting. One of the pieces, like it just kind of happened spontaneously, where I'm kind of like I'm speaking in Korean because it's my mother tongue, and it's also I'm channeling my mom, which is kind of like it's like all the shadow like the shadow aspects of like my feminine lineage that's like manifested as my mom, and like things that I could like things that she would say that's like really kind of just like emblematic of like shaming the shame. So it was, yeah, it's like, it's for me, it's like 100% it's energy work to perform that. Yeah. I hope I explained that.
I love the performance. I thought it was incredible. It was absolutely incredible. I feel like everything that I see of yours on Instagram is absolutely incredible and so touching.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, your work is incredible. Is that the only place where we can find you, is Instagram?
Instagram, and I have a Facebook page. It's like facebook.com/manifestationyin. And website in progress. But yeah, mainly I'm Instagram. Yeah. I think it's I just wanted to say something about the throat chakra because it's really big for me, and if it's big for me, I know it's big for the collective. Because this is so much, I think, this is where we for so long, not just in our own lives, but yeah, all like generations and generations of, I think, withholding truth, and that block we hold in the throat. And so I think, the more, like, I wanted to say something about offering myself up as like the vessel through which I could voice what I'm fearful of and voice what I'm scared or too ashamed to say, and to recognize that, like making it a safer world for that to be expressed, and to show that that is where our power is, like in the vulnerability of making transparent what was like pressed down for so long.
I mean, I feel like we honestly could probably talk literally all day, because you just talked about generations and the collective and being a vessel. Like, I mean, those are like 3-hour conversations just right there.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you, like, everyone that's listening, you're getting like literally pearls of wisdom here, which are incredible, profound pearls of wisdom. And I love. And I can't believe it, but our 30 minutes has already like gone up. And so,
because we're
that just means, we are so timeline jumping, which means we got to have you come back and we have to do another like session together and talk more. Would you totally be open to that? We got to do that.
Yes. So down.
All right. I love it. Well then, with that being said, anything else you want to close out before I close today's session?
Well, I want to just say thank you so much for having me and finding me, and so honored to be here and share. I
am so grateful that you are here. I am honored to have you as my guest. And I'm honored that you and I get to share in doing this work together in this place and time right here on this planet, because it's us stepping into our power. It's helping other people step into their power. And I think the transcendence that we will all feel and experience because of not just our work, but all light workers' work across the planet is just, like I could just feel it. Like you just see the earth like just light up.
Oh, my goddess. My eyes are opening so wide because I'm just like, hallelujah. And yeah, yes.
Yeah, it's a really, really incredible time, and I'm just so thankful that you're here. And with that said, I guess we'll close out today and we'll say goodbye. And thank you so much for Kwon Yin for being here with us today. We love you. Thank you so much. Thank you to the goddess for bringing our energies together. I'm so grateful.
So grateful.
And you've caught, this is Mike Diaz here, the Sleeping Yogi. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.